Hi everyone, this is Triptychs here. This is part 6 of the Playing and Reviewing Your Map series. If you haven't already known, this is recorded on my birthday directly in Obby Creator during my game night, so you may expect fans to be currently in the server now. Anyway, there will be 8 maps to do, so I can be saved by 6 maps short to edit this video quickly. Editing these types of videos is what takes this process the longest to get the video out, so let's get into it. So the first map is an easy map called Folia made by Bleem, which is supposedly the creator of the map after Betrorex made the original. The map's design style really makes this map atmospheric, straying the map to have an autumnal theme. The use of lighting makes the map appear natural, and interesting terrain structures were shaped well. The difficulty for the map is easy, and the gameplay is not too bad. It has directional effects on where to go, and sight readability is simple, just for an easy map. This map is overall short as there isn't much variety to gameplay here, but it works. The soundtrack is considered a Roblox music which decently captures the vibe of the autumnal equinox, and it somewhat reminds me of the OST of Nimble Valley. This map may qualify for JFE actually, but we will see. This map is called Arctic Stronghold, which I may heard that name before in an OG FE2 map. The site is very basic and blocky, and the surroundings are not very distinct and not ideal when it comes to the middle of nowhere. It feels like a part limit issue, whereas the gameplay really does not stand out, as if it would be like an Obby but Rising Flood. You know these types of classic flood escape games. The BGM according to the response is called Classical VIP, but it isn't playable in game somehow. It could possibly be an external BGM outside of Roblox, but a link was not provided to the response. Therefore, the BGM couldn't be ranked according to my views on the map. The next map is called Snowy Mountain, which captures the atmosphere of being in a snowy mountain with snowy chasms and terrains that cluster together. Since there's not much detail, I can already tell it is a part limit issue which I can fully understand. There's moving parts at the beginning which emit snow, which is clear detail and white glacial snow and ice materials. The design is decent. I would say add more nature to fill empty areas of snow. The gameplay is alright, it could use some indication though, as the route of progression is unclear at all when I first attempted to try the obstacles, especially when navigating through open areas and trying to get to the waypoint of what's to come next. The BGM is playable in Roblox and it's called Velocity 1619. As for a snowy map, it doesn't make any difference at all since it is just random music playing in the background. The only thing it emphasizes is the synchronization of the map sections, which doesn't seem to have an effect on the player experiencing the map. The fourth map is called the Blue Moon Escape, which is a miniature of the first original crazy map in-game, Blue Moon. It feels like a remake map, which just seemed to represent inspiration. Not much to talk about the design, since it is reminiscent of Blue Moon, which is a rocky moon that is colored blue with craters and terrain, involving a laboratory-like facility. I'm gonna nitpick on the gameplay here. Some of the jumps can be frustrating to process, especially the head-hitter jumps combining with a complex sight readability, especially on sharp turns. I mean the route of progression will become more exposed when the platforms are in some sort of a linear sequence. It can be better though. The BGM in my response said it claimed to be not available, but there's actually a playable BGM in game which I do not know the name of. Despite that, it doesn't seem to fit the vibe of the map, where it should be intense and fast-paced, as in contrary to this BGM, it felt more like a radical, uplifting soundtrack for an on-blown boss fight. There's no synchronization either, so this impacts the score significantly. This next map is called Volcanic Lab by Austin and VNC, who is in fact a friend of Love Fun, who is a known online friend of mine. Apparently there are checkpoints in this map, which is questionable since this map is FE2 related. I'm cutting out segments of the video so I don't inevitably fail multiple times as to not waste any time for a straightforward gameplay walkthrough. Well, going forward on the design, the interior detail of the rooms make it look like a lab, although it can be improved as some walls of the rooms are blonde. The gameplay is an issue here. Tied to checkpoints in this map, I can't estimate the pacing of the map and determine my own personal difficulty for this map, as opposed to its generic difficulty according to the response, which is an extreme difficulty in terms of TrioOS. The BGM situation is the same as the last map. It said not available on the response, but there is a one playable in-game. Again, the checkpoints seem to ruin the enjoyment of traversing through the gameplay, especially synchronization with the BGM. Although the BGM captures the vibe of the chaotic energy of the map's gameplay and theme, the pacing doesn't really align that well with it. It's not the best, it can be improved in my opinion. Unfortunately, the 6th Obby is non-existent as no map is actually available to be played and reviewed with. I explicitly stated on the document that you do not delete or replace the Obby if it is on the list. Turns out it's not, and now time is wasted since maps I review are locked in. Well, moving on. The 7th Obby made by the same creator of Snowy Mountain is a desert-themed map. Considering this map's name is called Ruined Desert. Considering the design of the map, it can be improved, but again it might be due to part limit, which I understand about. Now it's not just the structure of the map that correlates to design, but also the lighting of this map. I can identify white fog in this map, which I don't think makes sense for a desert map, but I'll let it slide since it doesn't obscure the map too much. The difficulty is a TrioOS Divine, which I can get the feeling that it is, due to the complexion of difficult jumps that you have to maneuver through. Although the sight readability is an issue here, as my choke point is navigating after the first button, which the route of progression is vague and I can't really tell where to go, as I attempt to try and go around a forbidden route that I don't even know that is. Indication needs to be considered in maps in case someone really doesn't know where to go, especially for maps that have complex sight readability, unless if I'm going too slow and I don't really know that. The BGM is shared in my FE2 CM map, Craggy Shore, as well as the in-game desert ruins in FE2 CM and FE2. As well as it fits the theme of the desert, I can't really tell if it aligns with the gameplay of the map, as my skills are limited to only reach a personal best up to approximately 15 seconds. The map's rating is not that high as it seems. This map is supposedly the last map for part 6, but this obby is not related to any sort of FE2 related gameplay at all, and instead it is sort of a simulator game. Please do not replace your obby and ensure that it is an obby creator, as this series clearly states that all FE2 related maps are being played in obby creator. Since this doesn't align with its standards, I guess this video ends here. That's it for part 6. Try my best to get it done before 2025, and Merry Christmas to all. If you don't celebrate it, have a great holidays and Happy New Year. The next episode would only rely on my dedication if I'm able to inherit that value. Stay tuned for projects such as Reactor Ruins and the FE2 CM maps that I have in development. Have a nice day!